Hello and welcome to this video tutorial brought to you by tutvid.com. Today we're going to take a look at importing Flash video and kind of working with it here in Flash. We're going to do a few transformations to our Flash video as well as create a simple stop and play button. So we'll be able to use our Flash video like I've used it here, where I really don't want to have a skin attached to the video. I don't want to, have to have a skin up here beneath this image here, or this bit of video, excuse me. And you can see we've really transformed the video to fit these frames in this particular photograph. Before we get going, this photograph is just simply a stock photo I found. I chopped the center of these frames out and saved it out from Photoshop as a .png file. If you go under the Save for Web, File Save for Web, you want to choose PNG 8 or PNG 24 from the drop-down menu. That's what I have here, and then I just simply dragged it and dropped it right here in Flash, and this video is just sitting underneath it. You're going to see exactly how we're going to do that in just a moment. So I'm going to save this and close it. Actually, before I close it, I'm going to show you. Control-Enter. Here's what we have. You can see the video here in all of these. If I hit the stop button is actually only controlling this video here. To save time, we're only going to make the stop and play button for one video. You can see. Stop and play, just like that. We're going to use a video that'll probably be a little bit easier to see as far as being able to tell whether or not it's playing or not. So I'm going to close this. And we're going to create a new Flash document. ActionScript 3.0. We are using ActionScript 3.0, and for transforming these movie clips, we're going to be using the 3D tools. So really, ideally, you need to use Flash CS4. However, as far as just importing the video and creating the stop and play button, you can be using Flash CS3. Anything that has ActionScript 3.0, which would be CS3 or CS4. So ActionScript 3, excuse me, hit OK. And the first thing I'm going to do is over here in the Properties section, choose Edit and set the dimensions to be 740 by 415. That's the size of my image. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hop over to the bridge, and here it is, stands.png. It's just a simple PNG file. I'm going to drag it and drop it into Flash. You can see it centers very nicely. I'm going to convert it to a movie clip right off the bat. So I'm going to go Modify, Convert to Symbol, and I'm going to name it MC Image. There we have it. Double click to open up my timeline here, and I'm going to double click this layer and name this layer Image. I'm going to create two new layers right off the bat. I'm going to name the top one AS for ActionScript, and the one here in the center Video. We're going to import our video onto that layer. So what we want to do is come up here to File and go Import Video. Now here's the Import Video dialog box. This file is on our computer, and we're not going to browse to a file path because we have a problem right off the bat, and I'm going to explain it in just a second. But before I do that, just note we are loading this as an external video with a playback component, which essentially is just linking this video file to this Flash file. So if it's somewhere on your hard drive, you want to make sure it stays there in that place on your hard drive, so this SWF file never has a broken link to that video. And when you take this and deploy it to the web or upload it to your website, whatever you want to do with it, you got to make sure you upload that FLV file as well. So load external video with playback components is what we want to do. My problem here is this is the video file we're going to be using, and it's a .mov file, not a .flv file. What does this mean? Well, we need to launch the Adobe Media Encoder to convert this to FLV. I'm going to hit this and immediately hit Cancel, and I'm going to say OK. And in just a second, the Adobe Media Encoder will pop up. Here it is. It's kind of popped up behind everything. And here we go. So all I need to do now is hop back over to Bridge. I'm going to grab this .mov file, and I'm going to drag and drop it right here on the Adobe Media Encoder. And the format here, I'm going to choose FLV or F4V. We want the FLV. All right, so there we go. And the preset is FLV, same as source, Flash 8 or higher. All right, great. Output, it's basically going to output it right to this folder it got the .mov file from. So I'm going to say, go ahead and take care of that. And it's going to go very quickly. It's a very, very small video file. It's just kind of like a sample video file here from Pond 5, which is a great stock video website. I've bought a ton of stock footage from them for use in all kinds of projects. All right, so we're going to close the media encoder, and we're going to hop back over to Flash, and I can just cancel out of this because all I need to do at this point is hop over to the bridge. Here it is, glowing earth comp.flv. I'm going to drag this right into my Flash file and just drop it, and the import video box pops up, but it already has my file path filled in. I'm going to say next. I want my skin set to none. I do not want any controls. See, there's a skin. All right, we don't want that. So I'm going to set that to none and go next. And it's just going to give me sort of like a summary, and I'm going to say finish. It's going to take care of importing that. And in just a second here, we're going to have this Flash video sitting right there on our stage. Great. The first thing we want to do is give this Flash FLV playback component an instance name. So you can see it is just loading this Flash video right through this component. So I'm going to give this an instance name of, let's name it video underscore FLV. There we go, perfect. And the next thing I want to do is select this, or make sure I have it selected, I should say, and go Modify, Convert to Symbol, and we're going to convert this to a movie clip symbol, and I'm going to call this MC video is what I want to call it. And I'm going to select that movie clip, and I'm going to give this an instance name of video_MC. So what exactly did we just did? If you got a little lost, basically this is now a movie clip. If I double click on it to edit the innards of that movie clip, we have in here our FLV playback component. This is the actual Flash video, okay? And you can see it still has that instance name of video_FLV. It's important that we do this because we're going to be referencing this with ActionScript. And the reason we need to wrap it inside of this movie clip is because we want to use the 3D rotation tool here on this in just a moment. Before we do that, however, we're going to create 2 duplicates of this, and we're going to pop them up onto their own layers. So I'm just going to hold down my Alt key. If you're on a Mac, that'll be Option. Click and drag, and click and drag again. So there we go, 3 copies of the same exact video. I'm going to select 2 of them, these 2, and I'm going to right click and just hit Distribute to Layers. You can see it's going to distribute these guys to their own layers. So now I'm going to name these layers something that I know, or in some way identifies the video on the layer. So I'm going to say video left, because this is going to be the video to the far left. This is going to be the video in the middle, and this guy over here is going to be the video in the middle. And there, let me just name that, and this guy over here is going to be video right. Alright, wonderful. Now that we've done that, what we need to do is take these videos and begin transforming them in such a way that makes them fit into their frames. So let's work with this guy first. I'm going to drag this video over here and set this guy up there. Alright, this guy is going to belong to the frame to the far right. Alright, that's pretty simple. We're just going to grab it a corner point and rotate him so he's straight up and down. Hold down my Shift key so we're constraining to proper proportions. Resize him, just like so. And leave them right there. Alright, now that we've done that, we're going to drag this video right layer beneath the image layer. You can see that it automatically is going to mask it off to our image because the image just has a hole cut in it. So we don't have to worry about creating a mask or anything like that. Just drag it below that image layer. Great. Alright, let's grab this video that belongs in the middle, and we're going to set him right here. We're going to grab the 3D rotation tool, and what I'm going to do first is grab this green bar that runs straight across horizontally, and I'm going to pull it up. Okay, you can see we're really rotating that almost as if it's going to sit flush on this wall here, which is essentially what we want, okay? It does a pretty nice job just like that. But you can see it's still much too long, so in order to make it look like it belongs, we're going to grab the Free Transform tool and kind of squash it inward, like so, and hold down the Shift key and just kind of make the whole video smaller. Alright, and it looks like we need to make it a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger yet. And it still needs to be a little bit bigger. Alright, I'm going to use my arrow keys to kind of fine tune it. Again, I'm not worried about it fitting exactly within that frame because, again, once we get it to the proper perspective, again, because this could probably still use a little bit of tweaking, but I'm not going to be too picky about it. We just drag this beneath the image and it's automatically going to be cropped off. Wonderful. Grab this one, 3D rotation tool. Again, grab that green bar going straight across horizontally. I'm going to pull it up and up. And that looks like it's pretty good right there. And we're going to downsize a little bit. Grab that Free Transform tool, hold the Shift key, and downsize it. Alright, great. We're going to make it a little bit narrower, just like so. Now, really, if you do not constrain proper proportions, right now the FLV playback, I believe, is set to automatically fix our messed up proportions, although we're within the movie clip here, so you don't really have to worry about that. But you still just hold down the Shift key to make sure that we're sticking within our proper proportions. I probably just really confused you, but just hold down Shift basically whenever you're changing the size of your video clip to prevent, or to ensure that you're not going to mess anything up. Alright, and we're going to grab that 3D rotation tool again, and I'm just going to tilt it a little more that way. More like that. That looks like it's pretty much perfect. And again, drag this right beneath the image. Now, we do have one little problem here. If I try to export this, it's going to give me an error basically saying that, you have all these objects and they all have the same instance name. That's going to be a problem because they're all here on the same frame, and it's just, you get 3D objects, and it's just a mess. So we want to make sure we give them all their own instance name. Now, you'll notice here, when I apparently select this video file, it looks like it doesn't have an instance name. Well, I'm actually selecting the image. We want to lock up the image layer. I can select this guy. You can see Video MC. So we're going to select this guy, and we're going to name him Video, and then just throw the number 2 in there. Video 2 MC, and for this guy, Video 3_MC. Great. Let's go ahead and test the movie out. Control Enter on the Mac, that'd be Command Return. And And here you can see the videos load up nicely, very cool. But the problem is, if we wait a few seconds, they're eventually going to get to the end of the video and they're just going to stop. For this particular type of video, where it's just sort of like an abstract something or other hanging there, not really doing anything, just purely a visual thing, you can see it just stops. We want it to continually loop. How do we do that? Well, it takes a little bit of action scripting, and let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to select the AS layer for ActionScript, hit F9, which is the hotkey to bring up the Actions panel, and the first thing we need to do is type the word import. Import and then space. We're going to say FL dot video with a capital V, event with a capital T. Or E, excuse me, event with a capital E. Be fl.video.video event, and then just a semicolon. All right, after that, what we need to do is create an event listener, which is basically going to say, hey, video, when you finish playing, go ahead and execute a function. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're first going to say video underscore MC. So video underscore MC is this movie clip containing this video. All right, dot video underscore FLV, which is actually that video player within that movie clip, dot add event listener, open parenthesis, and here we want to say video event dot complete, there we go, comma, and we're going to play a function called video done with a capital D F. All right, we need to create that function, close parenthesis, semicolon. All right, but this function is going to be very simple, and we're only going to need to create one function for all of these video clips. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say function space video done, capital F, open parenthesis, and we're going to, here we need to say event colon, event with a capital E, close parenthesis, colon, and the word void, open curly bracket, enter return twice, close curly bracket, and the up arrow key. Now inside of here, all we need to say is event.target.play. Basically, when that thing finishes playing, when this video event is complete, go ahead and this right here, video underscore FLV, we want you to take that and just, well, don't botch the code, but actually play the video. Alright, so now that we've done that, let's just duplicate this event listener twice. So I'm going to copy that, hit enter return once, duplicate it, or excuse me, paste it twice, just like that. And all we need to do is change this instance name here to video 2 and this guy to video 3. And just like that, we ought to have three videos here that continuously play. And we can see they've started, and they should basically never stop at this point. If they are not seamless looping videos, you're going to see, just a jerk, and it's going to, stop, and then, it won't really ever stop. It'll just yank back to wherever it started. So that is that, and any moment here, there you go, it just restarted, and that is pretty seamless. It's hard to notice it, but it is there. All right, so now that we've done that, let's just create a simple stop play controller for this. Basically, you click the stop button, the video stops, click the play button, and hey, it's going to continue playing again. Not particularly rocket science. What I'm going to do is come up here to Bridge, and I'm going to find, I have a file up here, right here, play stop pause.fla. This is basically just a kind of a stock, play, stop, and pause buttons. I'm going to grab the play and stop buttons. I'm going to copy them, Command or Control C, and just close that file. I'm going to paste them into this file. However, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to name this play stop, and Command or Control V, paste them right into there. All right, I'm going to set them right down in this corner. And what I'm going to do is convert them each to their own movie clip. Select the play button, hit F8, and I'm going to name it MC Play. Great. Select the stop button and do the same, F8, and name it MC Stop, just like so. And hit OK. Now I'm going to shift the stop button over so it's basically right on top of the play button. All right, just like that. And we need to give each of these guys an instance name. So with the stop button selected up here in the Properties panel, I'm going to name the stop underscore MC. And I'm going to select the play button. There's a couple tails of it sticking out from underneath the stop button. I'm going to name it play underscore MC. Just like that. Wonderful. All right, we're going to downsize these. I'm going to select both of them, hit the Q button, which is the hotkey for free transform. Hold my shift key and just size them down a bit. Now, back up here in the AS layer, we're going to hit F9. Open up that ActionScript panel. And basically the first thing we're going to do is hide the play button. So we're going to say play underscore MC dot visible. Space equals space, false. All that's going to do is once this movie starts playing, you're going to see there's going to be no play button, just the stop button, which is wonderful because our video is already playing. And by the way, we're only targeting this video here to the far left. We're not going to worry about setting buttons up for the other ones for the sake of saving a little bit of time. All right, so the next thing we want to do is, well, let's just take a look at that again. Notice when I roll over the movie clip, there's no indication that it's a button other than the fact that it's a big red block, which usually means stop. So I just want to make it clear that both the stop and play button are buttons. So I'm going to say play underscore MC dot button mode space equals space true. And again, stop underscore MC dot button mode space equals space equals space true semicolon. All right, great. I'm going to test the movie, and you'll see when I roll over that, you can see it now gives me the finger, the index finger that is, indicating that it is in fact a button. Great. All right, now that we've done that, we want to add an event listener to the stop button for starters, basically saying, hey, when this stops, we want you to go in and stop the video. So we're going to say stop underscore MC dot add event listener, and we're listening for a mouse event. That's mouse with a capital N, event with a capital E, dot click in all caps, comma, and we're going to say stop F. So stop function, and now we're going to create that function. So we're going to say function, try to spell function correctly, stop capital F, open parenthesis, event, colon, mouse event, again mouse and event with capital M, capital E, close parenthesis, colon, the word void, close, or open curly bracket, close curly bracket, and the up arrow key. All right, inside of here, all we're going to do is say video underscore MC dot video underscore FLV dot stop, open and close parenthesis, semicolon. And the other thing we want this to do is make the stop button invisible at this point. So then we're going to say stop underscore MC dot visible space equals space false. So when you click this, it's going to stop the video and it's going to hide the stop button. I threw a semicolon on the end there as well. But not only do we want the stop video to go away, we want that play button, play underscore MC, to become visible again. So we're going to say play underscore MC dot visible equals true. Throw a semicolon in there. All right, great. Hide that, and let's check out and see if this works. Control Enter Command Return if you're on the Mac, and I'm going to hit the stop button. You can see that video has stopped. These two, they continue on their merry way. This guy stopped, and we have the play button, which does nothing. Let's head back in and finish coding this up. We're going to grab this entire function, copy, enter return a couple times, paste it down here. You can see we have this function down here. All right, completely different than this function right here. All right, so we get this guy down here. We're going to name it play F, and you may be saying, hey, wait, we haven't created the event listener yet. Don't worry about it. We're going to go up there and create it in a second. So function play F, and we want it to go into that same video and that same video underscore FLV, but instead of stopping, we want it to just play, just like so. And at this point, the stop button would appear again, and the play button would hide again, just like that. All right, so I'm going to erase a couple of these lines that I added, and we're going to duplicate this entire line of code here, enter return once, paste it in, and we're just going to say, hey, play underscore MC dot add event listener. When the mouse clicks it, we want you to play the function play F. There we go. Enter or return, and when I stop, play button shows up. When I hit play, it continues playing, just like that. So sort of a simple video player and a cool way to work with video using the 3D tools here in Flash CS4. Very, very cool. And what I'm going to do here is just run over the code real quick. We initially import our video event class here, and then we immediately reference that by saying, hey, when that is complete, go ahead and execute this function, video done F. And here's that function. It's just a simple whatever is complete, play it, so it never stops playing. And then we have our little hide the play button here. Act like these movie clips are buttons by setting the button mode to true. That's what lines 12 and 13 here in my code are. And then we add the event listeners to the stop and play buttons, and then the functions that are executed by those event listeners when somebody clicks the button, which basically stop the video, play the video, and hide or show the correct button. So that is a very simple sort of brush up, touch up, how to work with Flash Video here in Flash CS4, some of the transformation techniques, as well as just a simple stop and play button, so you don't have to be locked into using the skins provided by Adobe. Not that I have anything against the skins, and the skins obviously, you know, they have full screen and volume control and all kinds of things like that, which you can control through ActionScript, but we're not going to cover them right here, right now. But this is just a simple sort of basics of Flash Video type of tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a thing or two. And if you enjoyed it, even if you didn't enjoy it, please go check out the site. That's www.tutvid.com. And thank you very much for watching.